Karim Benzema could actually be joining Arsenal. This is a man who has conquered football. Listen to this. Ballon d'Or winner, 5 Champions Leagues, 5 La Ligas and a trophy cabinet that could rival any player in the world. So why now would he choose to come to Arsenal? I mean, if you're strictly looking at money, then the numbers won't be comparable. But we do have some recent evidence that would suggest that maybe money isn't everything to some of these football players. You only have to look at Jordan Henderson. He was at El Ettifaq earning what you can only imagine to be a fortune. He was only there for 6 months though, because in the last week or so, he's joined Ajax, who we know, the Dutch league, doesn't pay some of the highest purses in Europe. So this would definitely tell you that maybe money isn't the main motivator for some of these players. So what kind of player would Arsenal be getting in Karim Benzema? You would be getting a 36-year-old. And when I hear an age like that, I would usually be thinking, what are Arsenal doing? But I think in this case, we would have to make an exception, okay? Because in terms of experience, we do not have any player anywhere close to having the level of experience that Karim Benzema possesses. And in terms of what player Karim Benzema was in his prime, you know, this was probably the best striker in the world. One of the very best players in the world. You only have to look at the Ballon d'Or win and that would tell you that. But it's up to us to try and work out when Benzema's prime actually was, okay? So when did he win the Ballon d'Or? That was only at the end of 2022. That was basically a year ago. So a year ago he would have been 35 and he still won the Ballon d'Or. So this is not a normal 35, 36-year-old. This is a 35 or 36-year-old that can still operate at the highest level. And you've only got to look at his stats and that would suggest that as well, okay? So this season, over in Saudi Arabia, 20 games and 12 goals. So he's still producing more than 1 goal every 2 games. But some people might be thinking, how strong actually is the Saudi League? And I say, okay, fair enough, I'll give you that one. So let's look at last season when he was still playing in La Liga for Real Madrid in the Champions League. What were his stats for that season? So 43 games and 31 goals. That is an incredible scoring record. So this is a player who is still very much capable of finding the back of the net. And let's not forget, this is not a player who left Real Madrid because he was finished. This wasn't a player who was ushered out of the door by Real Madrid. This is a player who only left Real Madrid because an astronomical offer was put in from Saudi Arabia. It was an offer that he couldn't refuse. 31 goals in 43 games last season. There's not many players in the world that are producing those numbers this season. So for a 35-year-old to be able to do that, you can't tell me less than a season later that that player is now finished or he's not good enough to play for this Arsenal team. I would argue with anyone that Karim Benzema would be a brilliant bit of business for Arsenal. And for a number of reasons as well. Not just because of the goals that I still think he can offer at this level, but like I said, the level of experience that he would bring at a time where we've got so many young players in the squad that would be able to take on advice from one of the greats. I think this is a brilliant opportunity for Arsenal and I don't think we can stutter on this deal. I think we need to get this deal done. I've seen Chelsea have been linked with him as well. So from what I'm reading, this player definitely wants to leave Saudi, so Arsenal should be all over this deal. Imagine what Saka or Nketiah or even Gabriel Jesus can learn off this player. And let's not forget, we're playing in the Champions League this season as well. So to have a player of that experience, to be able to bring some knowledge and composure, but not even that, I think he would bring a fear factor to this Arsenal team that would make other teams just respect us more, just for the fact that we have a player like Karim Benzema in that squad. And I have no doubt that if he was to slot into this Arsenal team, he would score a bag of goals. The way he would be able to link up with Saka, the way he would be able to link up with Martinelli. Imagine Odegaard link-up play with Karim Benzema. Benzema would be able to finish off the chances that Odegaard keeps creating and that our strikers just keep missing at the minute. Karim Benzema would score a handful of goals, no doubt about it. In fact, if Karim Benzema comes in, even at this point, I think he will still go on to be Arsenal's top scorer of the season. That is how highly of a bagsman I rate Karim Benzema. But I don't just want this to be a video of me telling you why I want Karim Benzema. I want to hear other people's suggestions and opinions on this subject. Why do you want Karim Benzema? Or maybe why do you not want Karim Benzema? Let me know in the comments section. I just think this is a deal that Arsenal have to go ahead and do, because you're not going to get a better player in this January transfer window than Karim Benzema, especially on a loan deal. If you can get a 6-month loan deal on Karim Benzema, that will tide you over till the summer, and then that can be the point where you actually go out and buy a top class striker. But this is essentially a top level player that you're getting on a loan deal. It is honestly a no-brainer to me. I don't understand why Arsenal wouldn't do this deal if the deal is there available to do. But like I said, let me know your comments on this Karim Benzema deal. Thanks so much to everyone for watching and listening. Before you go, if you could, just hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll speak to you all in tomorrow's video. Gooners, have a good day.